When I was a young kid, my mom and I were talking once, and one time I said to her, I want to be great. And she said, well, what does that mean? And I could never give any more definitive response other than, I want to be great. And she responded by saying to me, want to be great for the purpose of doing the things that great people do, not for the purpose of being great. And I say the same thing to women. Want to be a leader for the purpose of doing the things that leaders do, not for the purpose of just being a leader. I am Tonya Parker. I am the presiding judge of the 116th Judicial District Court. I also serve as the presiding judge for all of the Dallas County Civil District Courts. When you're out in the legal profession and you're just in bar association meetings and things like that, you have the impression that women are taking up a substantial percentage of our profession, and so there's not really any problem. We have a lot of female lawyers, but in the courtroom environment, we're not getting speaking roles at the courthouse, and we can't blame it all on our male counterparts. Some of it really is us wanting to have that behind-the-scenes role because we perceive the other role as being a high-pressure role or one that's undesirable to us for other reasons. This has really created this passion in me to want to go out and encourage young women who are in our profession to come over and argue the briefs that you write. Don't just write the brief and hand it off to somebody else to be the mouthpiece. We have to constantly fight to have greater confidence in ourselves and to project that confidence. You have to figure out how to move in your skin, but that takes a lot of time because of a lot of the messages that are sent to girls at early ages that create all sorts of barriers to us being able to fully embrace ourselves. One of the moments in my legal career that really stands out, it's the last jury trial that I tried. We had been in trial for several weeks and there was a lot on the line. We were about to begin the closing arguments, and I was trying the case with one of my colleagues, a male, and when we got to the point of the closing arguments, the female judge said, "Are you ready to proceed?" And he stood and he said, "Ms. Parker will be doing the closing arguments." And she looked at me and she said, "Ms. Parker, you have quite an audience. You may proceed." I felt like this is fuel for the fire. Definition of courage is not having the absence of fear, but having fear and proceeding anyway. A lot of times the apprehension, it arrests people. They're so afraid of failure. For that reason, I often will give speeches to young girls where the entire speech is based on my failures.
The first time I heard her speak was at one of the Uplift schools. She was there for an after-school program with Ignite. She had them engaged immediately. She has a presence that comes across as not only confident, but also she knows what she's talking about. The respect that she shows to young people not only clearly comes through, but their parents in the audience are so impressed with the way in which she makes them feel valuable.
When you think about the Dallas Women's Foundation logo, ripple effect, that inspires us because it reminds us that when we invest in women, when we encourage women, when we inspire women, we're not only going to change the life of that young lady, we're going to change the life of her family, her community, because that's what women do. When I heard that I was going to be a recipient of the Maura Award, it means a ton. One, because the Dallas Women's Foundation is behind the Maura Award. Two, because of Maura McNeil and who she was and what she's meant to women in our city and across our nation. To get something named after someone so special by an organization that means so much is the top. Strong women, better world.